Okay, so real quick, I just wanted to show, for anybody interested, this is my old rock that came out of my aquarium that was covered with all the vermetid snails. A lot of it's even gone. I mean, there was so much more, but I was manually removing all the visible ones I could see. I tried scrubbing them, I tried breaking them off. I tried super gluing some of them, so you might can see some of that on the rock. I tried everything I could to get rid of these snails, and I mean, I couldn't find any solution other than doing a complete tank reboot. But I mean, let's just take a look here. If this zooms right, I mean, all these, I mean, this piece was kind of up under, so I couldn't see them, but all these suckers, I mean, everything is covered. There's up under the edges of the corals. That's where, like, I fragged some off to save, but I cut a lot of those plugs and tried to save everything I could, pieces of it anyway. But just every single piece of rock was pretty much covered with these snails. So I just couldn't get rid of them. And the only thing I knew to do was just restart the whole tank. Well, I know I read up, you can take all your rock out and you can soak all your rock in citric acid and then scrub all of it down and clean it. I only had a 40-gallon tank to put all my fish and livestock in. So I wanted to get them back into the main tank as quickly as I could. So I ordered in the carob sea, like what they call it, real rock or whatever it is. I ordered in that to try it out. So yeah, I just redid the whole tank, and I'm gonna clean all this rock and then save it. This is all the old Marco rock that I had originally ordered, the dry rock. But moving forward, man, I'll tell you, I only bought corals from 3 places, and that's Worldwide Corals, Unique Corals, and Top Shelf Aquatics. So I got vermetid snails from one of those places, and those are all like top sellers that you would think would be trusted, that wouldn't have any kind of pest anyway. On top of that, all corals that I got in, I dipped. Now, I didn't quarantine any corals, but I dipped them. I think the mistake I made is I didn't cut them off the frag plug. I would just use the frag plug they came on and put them in the tank, glue them to the rock. So moving forward, I'm going to incorporate a new level of caution when I'm buying corals and adding them to my tank, because I promise you, this is something you never want to go through. I mean, the entire back glass started getting covered. They were all in the coralline algae, and until I looked one day at an angle on the back glass, I didn't even notice them. But they had covered the whole back glass. They covered my pumps. They, ended up all in my sump. I mean, they were everywhere. So complete takeover, basically, of the tank. And a lot of times I would see the corals start struggling, and then I would just see the webs coming out from these vermetid snails, like all over. Sometimes they would end up over the corals. So it's one of those things that I felt like I had to deal with. I've seen some people post videos where they've said, oh well, they're in nature and they're in the ocean, so I just deal with them or whatever. But for me, that's just wasn't the case. I mean, I'm not dealing with these. It's just, they're everywhere. So I did the methods that I knew to do to the tank to eradicate them, and I'm just hoping that I got all of them. If any show back up at this point, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I tried my best to get rid of these suckers. And I'm going to, moving forward, I'm gonna try my best to make sure I don't get them again. I can deal with anything else. I mean, the Aptasia, I got that. I bought the Bergia nudibranchs. They do a tremendous job on that, like knocked it out. So the Aptasia was gone. Those did a wonder for that. Algae's not a problem, you know. I can deal with anything else except for these. I don't know of a way to get rid of them. Like I said, I tried the glue, tried manual removal, tried the bumblebee snails. A lot of people said that they eat them. Yeah, they don't touch them, or if they do, they just can't keep up, you know, once you get such an infestation of them. But anyway, let me know anybody else's thoughts, you know, if you've dealt with them, you know, put in the comments, like, let me know how you've dealt with them, if I've missed something, if there's a better way of dealing with them. There's no going back from this point. I've already just redone the whole tank, which I just posted a video about that. But anyway, starting fresh. But thanks for watching. Hopefully you got a little information out of this.